There are 13 boys on the wall, all Costa Mesa High graduates. Spec 5 Roger Lewis Brown, Lance Corporal Gerald Leroy Edwards, Sergeant Robert Michael Gendron, Lance Corporal Leonard Zachary Garwitz, Lieutenant Commander Charles Richard Lee, Spec 4 Michael Robert Mangan, Sergeant Lloyd Lendell McBroom, First Lieutenant David King Olmsted, Spec 4 John Wayne Rolls, Sergeant William Edwin Rowe, Corporal James Otis Spa, Corporal Eric B. Speak, and Lance Corporal Roger Kimo Yamanaka, all graduates of Costa Mesa High School in the early 60s. Today we're at Balearic Park, and we're here to have the event of the century, I think. It's the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall, and the wall is 380 feet long and contains the names of 58,000 and more veterans that were killed during the Vietnam War. I did some research and I found this organization, Vietnam Veterans Memorial Foundation. I looked at their information and thought this was the premier wall. We are one of 34 locations they will be visiting this year, starting on the West Coast and then sweeping throughout the rest of the nation. So we feel very blessed that we have this event.
The bombs bursting in air.
Well, it's the first time the Wall That Heals or any of the traveling exhibits have been here to Costa Mesa, so I'm very excited to have it here in my backyard. And I share with people the first veterans that I met were at Costa Mesa Police Department, so to have this here on my home turf, I'm very excited about that. I'm the daughter of Sergeant Eddie Cervoni. He was killed in action on May 5th, 1968. I know it's more than just about me. There's many family members that are impacted, and there's at least 13 names they stated from Costa Mesa that are on the wall. One that wasn't noted, I'd like to note him. Blankenship is his last name. He was a 40-year-old Marine who served in World War II, Korea, and 2 tours in Vietnam. He lived in Mesa del Mar. He enlisted in the state of Washington during World War II, so his home of record does not show Costa Mesa, but I would really like to give a shout out to him.
My dad served in Vietnam for 2 tours. My uncle served. My brother was a Navy SEAL who's now retired as well. So it's always showing support and honoring, the soldiers that fought and died has always been a big, thing for us within our family history. I've met some people that came from all the way down in San Diego just to come up here and see the wall, and as far north as San Francisco. It still shows that it has, that these people are not forgotten.
There's 144 panels that contains all of the names. They have a room where you can alphabetically look up the person that you want to find, and then it will tell you the panel number and the section, and then you can go to your wall, and a lot of people will take a number 2 pencil and they'll rub the name so it comes off on the paper. And just being here and helping someone look for either their loved one or their squad mate, it just brightens the day. It's a very emotional event.
Well, this is a great replica of the wall. You couldn't get any closer. It's all there. But there are so many notes along there that just mean a lot. They come from people's hearts. It's just beautiful. But for me, I think it's an opportunity for people who live here who say, I can't afford to go back to Washington, D.C., don't have the time to go. I just can't help but say thank you to the city, from the mayor right on through to all the council people and the Parks and Recreation people that helped us. So this is really a very nice venue to have it in, and the support the city has given us, couldn't ask for more.
I have been to the one in Washington, D.C. Having this go around the nation is a wonderful thing, because if you can't travel, then you can still see, and it has a very impactful feeling. I think it's very, very important to remember everything that happened. And I think especially so for young kids, because I don't think they really know because going on, what maybe will continue to go on. And I don't think war is a really, really great thing. It's horrible.
I think for me it's a reminder that just because it's not in our lifetime doesn't mean it's not important. And doesn't mean it's not something that's not worth remembering. You know, it's our duty to recall the past so we don't repeat it in the future. And it's our duty to remember those that sacrificed their lives so we be here today. So for me, if my age is useful in that, that's perfect. And just for me to be here as a council member, it's an honor to represent my city and give thanks to those that served our country, not only the Vietnam War, but the other wars like Korea War, World War II, and those even more recent.
Sometimes we go through life and we never have to face going to war. We have those freedoms. And today is a celebration of those that gave their lives. And at times it's painful, but we have to look back to those that gave their lives for the democracy of our allies and for this nation. And to ignore them is to ignore our own history. I found more satisfaction than I would have believed in that this is so meaningful to many, many people. And the people have really responded, the veterans and their families.